Hello lovely people, welcome to my YouTube channel. In this video I want to share with you guys how to get accommodation in China as international students. There are so many of you who have been asking me about accommodation for international students in China, and in this video I'm coming to share with you the different options you have in terms of accommodation as international students, and hopefully by the end of this video you will be able to make a decision that suits you well in getting accommodation. Before we get started, Amber is a leading accommodation provider for international students in over 20 countries in the world. And if you are planning of staying in any of these countries like US, Canada, Australia, UK, China, and many more, then Amber is the best option for you. Amber will provide the real videos of the accommodation even before you travel to your university. And guess what? If you arrive in your university and you don't like the accommodation, your money can be refunded to you. What are you waiting for? All you have to do is to click on the link in the description box, get your accommodation even before you arrive in your university. Let's get started, guys. So accommodation in China for international students are in two different options. One is university accommodation and two is renting outside. University accommodation is mostly provided by the university and is mostly in the university. Renting outside is looking for apartment outside to rent from landlords to stay outside. These are the two options. The university accommodation is more secured and there's more security in university accommodation because university makes sure that everybody is safe and the environment is conducive. Renting outside is like staying in a community, a society of Chinese people mostly. That is how it is. There's more security in staying in university accommodation as compared to staying outside, and you only need a walk distance to move to your classroom, your lecture halls, library, and all those stuff. Unlike renting outside. Renting outside, you have to move a distance before you can get to your classrooms. One of the biggest disadvantage of staying in university accommodation in China is at 10 p.m. or 11 p.m. in most universities, the hostel will be locked. The dormitories will be locked. I know it sounds weird and very funny that university students, their hostels are locked at 10 and 11 p.m. That is China for you. So if you are if you are ready to stay in university accommodation, this is one of the biggest disadvantages. But not all universities, but about 90% of universities in China, if you stay in university accommodation, your hostel will be locked at 10 or 11 p.m. That's one biggest disadvantage. Staying in university accommodation is more cheaper as compared to renting outside. If you stay in university accommodation, water is free. You don't pay any bills for water, and sometimes electricity, gas is free when you have shared kitchen. If you rent outside, you have to pay water bills, gas, electricity, everything have to be paid by yourself. Most of the university accommodation is shared. Mostly two people in a room, and you have toilet, washroom, and sometimes with a kitchen and a shared hall. Sometimes there's no kitchen. You have one combined shared kitchen for the whole students. So it varies based on your university. If you are thinking of renting outside have different options. One is renting a single bedroom which has a kitchen, a small kitchen, a toilet, and a small hall, or renting an apartment of 3 bedrooms with a kitchen, with a shared kitchen, with a shared toilet, and with a shared hall. Mostly 3 people always combine, then they rent one apartment, then they share the bedrooms, then they have shared hall. Another thing you like to consider in renting outside is to make sure that you rent an apartment closer to your university. Most of the time people rent in apartments that are a little bit far from the university, which is cheaper However, you will need to be taking public transport, or you need a scooter before you can mostly come to school, which is very stressful. Which is very, very stressful. You might think it's cheaper at the beginning, but at the end of the day, I think it's more expensive and stressful. If you rent an accommodation closer to the university, it will be more expensive as compared to getting accommodation far from the university. However, it's very stressful taking public transport, metro, moving to classroom all the time. Another thing you like to consider is renting apartment which is closer or within some important amenities like market like shopping mall, like 5 minutes away from the KFC, 5 minutes away from McDonald's, 3 minutes away from the shopping mall, yes, from the hospital, from the police. It should be an area that you think have these important amenities, so that you don't have to move a long distance before you can get basic amenities, basic stuffs. Renting outside comes with extra bills that you have to pay, and mostly in paying off your rent when you rent outside has got different ways. One is to pay all your bill, or one is to pay the rent with bills inclusive, that is water, electricity, and gas inclusive, or you pay only for the apartment, then you always pay for gas, electricity when they are finished. For me, the best advice I'll give you is to always make sure that you pay everything inclusive, most especially when you are sharing apartment with other people. If you pay in that way, there will not be any challenge of electricity is finished, bring your money, let's pay, and all those stuff. And these always bring challenges among people. So the best advice I'll give you when you are sharing apartment outside is to make sure that you pay everything with water bills, electricity, gas, with everything inclusive. With everything inclusive. I personally, the best advice I'll give you when you are renting outside is to make sure that you search for a single bedroom, so that you'll be free, so that you don't have challenges of roommates, apartment mates, and all those stuffs. Also, if you are thinking of renting outside, you will need several documents and processes before you can be allowed to rent outside. One is your traveling passport, two is your resident permit, three is your student ID, four is a guarantor. You have to get a Chinese guarantor to help you rent an apartment outside. Mostly you can get it from any of your teachers. Your teachers will help you, your counselors will help you, so that you can rent the apartment. So renting outside also comes with several processes you have to go through before you can rent outside. However, if you rent outside, there's nothing like curfew, there's nothing like the doors will be locked or whatever. You have the freedom to move in and out every time, but expensive. So guys, that is why I'll still recommend Amber, the leading accommodation provider for international students over 20 countries in the world. So if you are planning of studying in abroad, you just have to click on the link in the description box to get your accommodation without the stress of going through document processing and all those stuff. Amber will get everything done for you, and guess what? If you even arrive there and don't like the accommodation, your money can be refunded to you. This is so simple, so easy, and so convenient. I would like to appreciate my favorite subscribers and you watching me for taking the time to watch the video to the end, and all those who have reached me via Instagram about how to get scholarship in China, about how to do business, buy stuff from China without using an agent, and also about life in China. I really appreciate your compliments and everything, and I also try my best to always help you in case you have any challenge from China. Don't forget, don't hesitate to reach me in case you need anything from China, because I'm here for you. I'm the solution to your challenges, your problems in China as a student or buying from China. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. And in my upcoming videos, there will be several videos about jobs you can do in China, and also how to buy things, wholesale products from China without using an agent, and how to get scholarship. There are over million scholarship opportunities in China for postgraduate, bachelor, undergraduates, and all exchange programs. Thank you very much, and see you.